Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we are doing a call to comfort. So the situation is things are terrifying in the world right now, and we may find ourselves tempted to call upon deity of your choice, to come through and set things to rights. But that's not really the way. There's already violence happening, and things, the horrible things that are happening are ending themselves. They are destroying themselves. And what we need to do is basically to take care of each other and to take care of ourselves and survive all of this. And so the call to deity of our choice, will be a call to comfort, a call to embrace and cradle, and so that we can, how did I put it? Hang on a second. Basically, to weather the necessary collapse in comfort and love, and patience. So to that end, I have found 4 beautiful stones from the ocean. I found them in a box. These are my stones that I found in the ocean when I was much, much younger. We'll just number them. We've got stone number 1, stone number 2, stone number 3, and stone number 4. Pick a stone. I will put the timestamps in the description. Then each stone will bring you to a reading with the Forgotten English deck, which we haven't used in a long time, and then a rune dice reading with the Elder Futhark on dice. And I do have the maple Elder Futhark on maple wood for backup, so if we need a little bit more. So that is what we are going to do today. I will put the timestamps in the description. 1 or more of these will have a message for you about that, and I will see you at the readings. Bye! Hello to those of you who chose stone number 1. So I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to pick a card from the Forgotten English deck. These are words that are no longer in general use, but from them you'll see the origins of words that we do know. And this is going to be one of the main themes of the message you need about the call to comfort. I don't know if we've got a Mercury retrograde thing going on, or some other thing that's going on astrologically, or if it's that comet. But this has been such a difficult set of videos to get started. Things just weren't working. Okay, call to comfort. And we have fix facts. Let's see what fix facts is about. Scottish word for a framework or pillory, which had a variety of forms. All had holes for the neck and wrists of those convicted of such crimes as sales, fraud, bad debts, and fortune-telling. Oh no. This device was known by such nicknames as the Thew for female penitents who were called babes in the wood, the penance board for the religiously inclined, and wooden parentheses for intellectuals. The fixed fax was placed in the town square where passers-by could jeer and pelt the confined with dangerous or humiliating projectiles. The practice was not completely abolished in England and America until 1837 and 1905, respectively. So, fixed facts. So, there seems to be a sense for you that you really want to see punishment happening. And here's the thing about punishment. It's problematic, because think about the times that you were punished for something. Did the punishment make you learn your lesson, especially if it was a mistake? No. All it did was create resentment, and you probably, if it was something that you would have done anyway, or if it was a mistake, this didn't stop the mistake. This actually just gave you more stress and anxiety and resentment. And it's just basically not, am I saying that there shouldn't be punishment for things? No, but I'm saying that a lot of it doesn't work. So, so this is basically, there is that situation where there's a lot of, I think punitive is the word, that is either wanted or wanted to be carried forward. And it's difficult. And then there's a sense of, how do I put this? That, who decides this and who decides what is punishable and who decides, all of that stuff. And there's a lot of things like going on. I sort of sense a desire for this to be the case so that we can all watch and see this happen. And in fact, that is one of the big problems that's happening right now, is this lack of consequence, which is a serious issue. And it's destroying the morale of people who have always lived as considerately as possible. So there's that as well. So there's a lot of that to do with that. And as far as the call to comfort is, I think, first of all, we need to see consequences happen. There may be a sense of we want to see punishment happen. So it is problematic, and let's explore this in this reading. I'm just trying to find a place to put this because I have to fix facts, because I have to roll the rune dice. I've built up the surroundings so that they don't roll on the floor again. Waiter, why is your thumb on my steak? I didn't want it to fall on the floor again. Okay. Tell us about this. What do we need to know about this stone's message for the call to comfort involving the fix facts? Okay. Interesting. We have a blank side. I'm going to leave that up. Let's turn everything to be the way it kind of wants to be. Okay. So our central issue is represented here by Ingvaz. Ingvaz is Ing's rune. Ing is another name for Frey, and Frey is the fertility god. I read this as active creation. This is very interesting because we have a framework or pillory, and that would be this. And that looks like this. This is basically you're creating a framework. So there is a focus on a framework to be created that's going to shape things into the way that we want them to be. Leading up to this, so a lot of nothing was done, and that didn't help. Like, certainly the no consequences thing has been a huge problem. Like, an enormous problem is the no consequences aspect of things lately. Like, the fact that there have been no consequences for so many things that, by all rights, our senses are offended by the fact that there have been no consequences and nothing was done. That's a problem. And so, this is sort of hanging over us, where we want something to happen that's going to put us, like, make it difficult for people to do the things that they're doing. The thing that happened just before this moment is we have Isa, which is the rune of ice. Ice is the rune of standstill, and this is the stillness through which clarity comes. And this happened just before we said, let's start setting things up. And I think that I'm really seeing this as, let's start setting things up so that this kind of thing can't happen anymore. So there was this moment of clarity to do with, I think, life, because these are the red runes, and just basically this sense of this is terrible. Things are bloody. Things are really very bad for people, and we want to make sure that we are. This needs to stop. Basically, we need to stop what's happening. And now that this is being looked at, and now that this is coming through, this is actually helping us. And it's like, okay, let's create a framework. I mean, this could be a framework of laws. This could be a framework of new regulations and new rules and things, so that this sort of thing can't happen anymore. What isn't going to help is we have Gabo way the heck down at the bottom. This is the lowest rune in the spread. These are previous agreements, decisions, goals, plans, and exchanges. And in the lower line, I usually read this one also as obligations. So there may be existing things that have allowed this that are causing problems for us as we try to reshape things. What is going to help the most is we have Tivaz reversed. Tivaz is Tyr's rune. Tyr is the warrior god. And reversed, I'm going to read this several ways. First of all, put the sword down. Okay, this is not going to get fixed by violence. This is not. As much as we would like to meet what they were doing with equal measure, it just has to be stopped. So we need to stop that. We need to stop the violence, and we need to basically not react to the violence with violence, and also stop the violence from happening. These are what the runes are saying, and once again, entertainment purposes only. And you know, I'm not affiliated with things except for let's please be nice to each other, kind to each other. And next way I'm going to read that is, let's make sure that we're taking care of the duties and responsibilities that we have to ourselves. Make sure that that is being tended to. That's going to be extremely important as we move forward, as we create the new situations of things. This is not like being selfish. This is basically making sure that your own oxygen mask is in place before attempting to assist another. All of this is going to lead you to, it's going to be a long road ahead, but it's going to be clear. You're going to see the steps that need to happen, and you're going to start taking them. And I think it's going to be a more heart-centered path. It's going to be a more patient, let's just basically make sure that we are keeping compassion in mind as we move forward. It's going to be a while before we get there. We have to take some time to set things up. Let's get a rune down in the middle just to bring us there. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So we're going to be making some new agreements. We're going to be setting some new goals. We're going to be making some new decisions. What are the other ones? Plans. So there are going to be exchanges that are going to take place between here and now, like between here and now and there and now, there and there. And this is basically, once we've taken care of what we need to for ourselves, there are going to be maybe new laws put in place, maybe new regulations put in place, maybe even just new things set up and agreements made where it's going to be different from these. I definitely think basically that it's going to be different from these. But it's all going to be about stopping what was going on before and then remaking the shape of things. There is always going to be this temptation. There's always going to be this temptation to punish. And it's going to be tricky. It's going to be a tricky thing because there are always going to be people who are going to want to jeer and pelt the confined with dangerous and humiliating projectiles. But this is going to be the way forward. It's going to be a clearer, purer way of doing things, like a more, let's just do this. And we are, as we move forward, going to be focused more on a compassionate path forward. I want one more, and I'm not sure where to put it. Let's put it right on top of this. Yeah, so this is in fact our duty at this point. This is our duty to the world. This is our new quest. It's Tivaz again, but it's upright. So this is our duty to take care of this. We need to put this to rights. And not necessarily by that, although consequences are going to be extremely important, but we need to make it extremely clear. Yeah. Okay. Well, I was hoping that would be a lot clearer than it was. But anyway, in that case, let's have one more of these. We have a bit of time, so we have all the time we need. Okay. I think the way I'm going to read Fehu reversed here is going to be ignoring people's monetary status for this. It's going to be based on inner worth as opposed to this person can buy their way out of what's been done to them. And that's going to be very important as we move forward. Okay, so that is your stone number 1 reading for Call to Comfort. This is a lot of work to do, stone number 1 people, and it's going to require a lot of rewriting of what we thought of before. So that's very interesting. So I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, stone number 2 people. So let me move the stone number 2 over here, and let's take the Forgotten English deck and give it a shuffle and see what card we get for the Call to Comfort. Things are tricky. The first reading I did of this, I hope the people who chose stone number 1, I hope it was clear for them, because I don't know, maybe all of these are going to be like that. So we'll see. What is the card we need for this? Boanthropy. Boanthropy. I seem to remember what this one means. A rare form of insanity written of in the 19th century in which a man imagines himself to be an ox. Such madness, or at least its diagnosis, is found in the Bible in the book of Daniel, which reports that King Nebuchadnezzar was driven from men and did eat grass as oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven. The same prefix bo, as in bovine, was used in other words such as boopic, having prominent eyes like an ox. So, boanthropy. So this is, it doesn't sound like it would make much sense, but it actually makes perfect sense since this is a rune reading. The ox, especially the wild ox in the runes, is the second rune, which is Uruz, which is the wild ox. And this has to do with strength and health and stubbornness and stick-to-itiveness and groundedness and solidity. And so if we make ourselves as the ox or begin to be that, then we come into our inherent strength. We come into our inherent health. We focus on that. We focus on being solar animals. We focus on being very, very grounded, on resisting things, like basically the whole facing into the storm thing, and that kind of thing. So that's as far as that goes. Our focus is going to be on be like unto the ox and just take things very much more naturally and to be that. So I'm taking the 6 runes on this, the six rune dice, and we're going to see how this applies to the call to comfort in these rare times. Ooh, those all went over there. So that's interesting. I'll just move this boanthropy over there. Let's turn everything so that it is in the situation where it needs to be. And we'll leave that as a blank rune. Okay, interesting. So we don't really have a central issue. Everything's sort of around it. So let's just take that as the situation. No urus in this, which I would have thought based on what the reading is. So let's read what we have. Central issue is basically here. So I'm going to read around this. This is where we're going to fit in right there. So leading up to this, first of all, we've been very patient, and we've been very patient in a compassionate way. So we've been very patient with things, and that's been helping us a lot. And we've been doing that for a while. What this has led us to is this moment of, and this is basically just before where we are now. There's this moment of where we basically had to turn away from the din of humanity. There was a worry about our comfort zones in that case. Let me just back up a bit. So we have Ivaz, which is the rune of the yew tree. This is patience, slow growth, slow development, taking things step by step, moving between worlds and all that. That's what we've been doing for a long time, and it had been helping us. Then, more recently, we've just had to turn away from humanity from the din of humanity, not from humanity, but from the din. And this has helped us even more because we've had to tune that out. Now, we have Othala in the lower line. There was a worry when we did that we're worried about our sanctuary, we're worried about solace, we're worried about our comfort. Which the whole thing is a call to comfort. But a lot of this is like worried about comfort zone. So, where is our home if we turn away from it kind of thing. And so, there's a worry that we've turned away from what keeps us safe and what keeps us at home. But it was too much. We had to turn away from it. Right now, we have what's helping us the most is inner communication, silence, paying attention and listening, but we're basically sort of waiting it out. I mean, this is what the whole thing is about, just that call to comfort so that we can, have that patience and compassion while we wait for everything to destroy itself that needs to. And that's where we are now. We've almost basically disappeared at this point. So we've stepped back to the point where we are no longer visible to a certain extent, and we are having inner communication. So whether this is with ourselves, this basically inner voice, or, goddesses, gods, guardians, guides, whatever you have that you communicate with, higher self, and that's sort of what's going on now. What isn't going to help you is don't stop moving forward. We have Raida, which is the rune of the journey. It's the lowest one here. So basically, don't stop moving forward. We can't give up. We don't give up. Ultimately, where we're going to be at is completely new ground. When we emerge from where we were, where we've been, basically returning to our own nature and connecting with our strength and our health and our ability to resist what's going on. Where do I want this? I'm going to... things will be completely different. Things will be very, very new. So let's get some maple runes down and see if we can get, first of all, a central issue. So let's see what our central issue is. Yeah, exactly that. So we've really, right now, our situation is that we've really stepped away from what's going on to protect ourselves. What else do we need? I'm going to put a couple down with the maple. Yeah, it's sort of, we're rebirthing ourselves. At the point where we said, okay, we need to turn away from the din of humanity. That was a sort of a rebirthing. So we've Berkana, which is the rune of beginnings and birth. It's the birch tree, and it's reversed on this spot between these two. So at this point, we're like, I've got to rebirth myself because what was going on before, we can't continue that way. Central issue, we have Ansu's reversed again. So these match each other. Basically, you've turned completely inward. Your communication is inward. You're manifesting things within. So we're basically building the new world inside to begin with. Just basically referring to, that whole thing to help us weather the time of needed collapse. But also, we are. The new world is stirring, and we need to be safe and keep ourselves safe and comforted while this is growing and while this is developing. So while we do this, we're turning away from the din of humanity, and now we are basically inwardly manifesting things. Where do I want to put the next one? Let's see. Let's go around this. Let's go around this one. I think that's actually the blank rune. That's really cool. This is the second time this has matched on this exact thing. Yeah, so when we get to this point where it's all new ground, this is what we're going to focus on. It's like everything is new. Be open to whatever the divine is for you. Connect with that, but recognize that this is completely new. This is trackless. I think the main thing, though, not to worry about worth. I think one of the problems that we've had is a lot of people have been getting away with things because of the wealth they wave around, and that's definitely part of what has been causing problems. That's a personal note on things. Not sure where the boanthropy comes in, except for the fact that we are basically connecting to our nature and our true strength and health. Let's actually get a rune down on this. Let's get a rune down on the boanthropy itself. Yeah, so it's going to be about finding your joy. That almost flipped over. It didn't completely. So it's not like completely inner joy, but we're reconnecting with nature. So with our own true nature so that we can reconnect with our joy. Just a quick read of this splash on the boanthropy card. Focus is going to be on joy. Where is it? We feel unsupported up until that point. Connect with heart. And this is what we're sort of doing at this point inwardly. I don't see that there, but that's basically, this is connect to heart. Let emotions flow. Don't worry about there are going to be needs that are going to arise, but that's going to be something that you're going to attach heart to. And you're worried about the needs that are happening. And of course we are. But basically connect to heart. Let intuition flow, let intuition happen, let emotions flow as the river that they are. And ultimately we'll be able to reconnect with, well, I don't see Sovilo here, but this is Sovilo, the rune of the sun, which is source energy. And that's, basically we're going to be reconnecting with source. And that's what the blank runes are always having implied, is that connection to deity, to whatever the divine is for you. That is an aspect of the blank rune. But mostly I'm seeing that as we're basically going to connect. We're going to be in a new ground at this point. But at this point, right now, we're intercommunication. We're doing the inner manifestation where, we're letting things develop inwardly so that when everything has collapsed that needs to, we can emerge and have a blank slate or a blank canvas to work with. So that's interesting. So these are really weird. I have to say, I didn't expect when I was going to be doing these that these readings would be really, really weird, but I'm committed to the bit. So let's do it. So that is the second reading. That is the reading for the stone number 2. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello to those of you who chose stone number 3. Let's move this over here, and we're going to go to the Forgotten English deck, and we're going to shuffle these, and we're going to see if we can get a card that is going to help us with our call to comfort. I'm going to warn you, I've done 2 of these so far. These are really, really weird readings, and I don't say that lightly, being weird myself. So these are weird readings today, so I'm not sure what to make of them. So I'm hoping that these will resonate with those of you who are choosing the stones, because my goodness gracious, they are very strange. Okay, what do we need to know about this call to comfort? Oh my God. So we have Gardyloo. So without turning this, I know what this is already, but I'll read it for you anyway. Spirited warning cry that once preceded the emptying of slops, buckets full of wastewater from an upstairs window into the street below. A corruption of the French expression garde de l'eau, which meant roughly look out for the water. Water is, of course, being used very loosely, which meant roughly, look out for the water. This expression was frequently heard in the 18th and 19th centuries in England and Scotland, where a water closet is still referred to as a loo. So basically, right now, the way things are, there's a lot of poop that is about to fall or is falling. So please be aware of this and have that situational awareness to be able to get out of the way of it all. And that makes a lot of sense based on what we're talking about today. That whole call to comfort, while what needs to collapse is collapsing, just to basically be aware that be wary of falling poop and other things that might be falling. So let's get the runes out. I told you these are weird readings today. But what are we if not experimental with these readings? So let's see how this applies to this is the clearest one I've seen as far as how it applies to the necessary collapse of things and staying safe during that, but okay, let's see what the runes have to add. Okay, that's interesting. Those went way the heck over there. So this one over here, this here, this is our blank. We've got 2 blanks. I'm just going to leave them as blanks. I've been leaving the blanks, but why not? Central issues here. I'm going to pull it immediately. And this is basically, okay. So yeah. Central issue is Nauthi's reversed. Nauthi's is the rune of need. When it's reversed, it means drop everything and tend to your needs. Gardyloo. So basically, the poop is falling and other things, and we need to be very aware of this, and we need to take all the precautions to be safe from this. So let's read what the runes have shown us. We have, first of all, furthest back, we have Gabo. Gabo is the rune of the gift. This is always an exchange. It's agreements, decisions, goals, and plans. It may also be things that needed to happen, that have happened. So there have been things that we've passed the milestone of, and that's this here. So we have that. That has happened. way the heck back. And now we're in a situation where all of this is happening. We've been impatient with it. It's still going on. What has not been helping is this impatience, this feeling like end already, because it's all been going on and it's horrible. And so this impatience is just really, really driving us crazy, because we want things to get on with themselves. And we feel like we're in a state of emergency all the time, that we always have to duck from the falling stuff that's falling. And yeah, that's where we're at right now. We just feel like it's just awful. So I'm actually, before I read anything else of the rune dice, what is going to help us in that moment? In this moment, we have a Sovila, which is the rune of the sun. So whatever source energy is for you, whatever it is that whenever you do it, whenever you access it, always energizes you, always nourishes you, always makes things better for you, tap into that, because that's going to help you the most in this moment where everything feels like an emergency. What isn't going to help, we have Laugi's, oh my gosh, I just bind runed a whole bunch of runes in my mouth. We have Lagus reversed. Lagus is the rune of the water, and it has to do with emotion, intuition, heart, and flow, reversed in the lower line. Unpleasant emotions definitely are going to be an issue. And look how this extends from Ivaz, this extreme impatience that we've been having. The things have just been going on and on and on, and it's just basically surged up these unpleasant emotions that we have going on. We feel like we've lost heart. We feel like we may even feel completely numb in some cases, and other times we may feel like this absolute rage happening. We may feel as though we can't foresee anything because nothing seems to be working the way that it used to. All of this can be solved by tapping into your source energy, reconnect with whatever it is that always energizes you, and this will help you ride this out. Your next step on the path line is the blank rune. Ultimately, we're going to be where things are completely new. And what's helping you at that point is also acknowledging and embracing the fact that things are completely new. This is completely new ground. The other thing about the blank rune is that deity is implied. So connection to the divine, whatever the divine is for you, whether this is the universe or your higher self or a deity or whatever, it's implied. So completely new ground. We may not really have a path for this or a pre-existing procedure, but we will be on fresh new ground, fresh new canvas, blank canvas. What's going to help us the most, two things. One especially is now is the time where it is up to us to pick things up and start to work with them and start to shape things into the way we need to have them. We have Ingvaz, which is Ing's rune. Ing is another name for Frey, and Frey is the fertility god. I read this as active creation. So when things are completely new and everything has collapsed that needed to, let's see that collapse actually quickly. Yeah. We're going to see actually a collapse of support for things and ourselves. So we're going to have to support ourselves for a little bit, which is unfortunate. Blank rune again, blank rune. So we're looking towards, that. Yeah. And communication is going to be rampant. You're going to be afraid to talk to anybody. So that's our collapse. But from that point, things are going to be new. Things are going to be really new. We're going to stay open to our connection to the divine, whatever the divine is for us. And then we're going to start building things. We're going to start making things happen. And ultimately, we're going to want to stay open to, being still and connecting to the divine, whatever the divine is for us. Just laying this out as well. Yeah, there we are. We're going to have that breakthrough. After that point, once we start making things, once we start shaping things, the breakthrough will come. This will not be the time to worry about galloping forward. Don't worry about moving forward. And actually don't rush forward at that point. In fact, rewriting that statement, because the opposite here is Isa, which is stillness. It's the stillness to which clarity comes. So once we have the breakthrough, best thing we can do is just be still in it for a while and allow the clarity to come through it. Don't gallop forward from that point just yet. Just let the breakthrough happen. So there we go. I told you these are weird readings today, but I wanted to give it a try, and so we're doing it. Yeah. So there we go. That is our reading for stone number 3, Gardy Lou. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello to those of you who chose stone number 4. I'm going to tell you right now, these are really weird readings. They are really weird. All I can hope is that there is something in each reading for those of you who are choosing them that is resonating for you, because I'm going to tell you right now, these are bizarre readings. Bizarre for the calls to comfort. So, but got to try it. Got to do new stuff. Very important. I mean, it has to be. It has to be. Okay, what do we need to know about the call to comfort for stone number 4? Gorges, I believe. A Middle English word meaning elegant, fashionable. Its root was in Latin gurges, used in the 3rd century to refer to the throat. In the 15th century, a new style of women's headdress was called I'm not even going to attempt it. I think it's gorgeous, because I think we're coming into the word that means gorgeous, which also covered the throat, which was devised. It partially replaced the popular wimple, which also covered the head and which is still worn but only by nuns. This fashion was apparently so admired that gorges became synonymous with tastefulness in dress. The derivative gorgeous has survived into modern times. So that's really interesting. So gorgeous, meaning fashionable, but also beautiful. But what's really interesting is this comes from the throat. Now, from a runic standpoint, and from a chakric standpoint, we're going to bring in like the throat chakra and also the communication manifestation rune, which is Ansus. So where we are creating and manifesting with the voice, with the throat, and hopefully bringing beauty through as we create it, and make beauty fashionable as far as making the truth that is spoken. There we are. There's our connection. Make the truth fashionable, the actual truth, and make that be what we see as gorgeous. And let us speak that truth, and let it be the new thing that as we go forward to start to see the truth as gorgeous. There we go. So let's roll the runes and see what this has to say, incorporating that about the call to comfort. Oh, that one almost went over. And you know what's really interesting? I put this together so that they wouldn't do that. So this is obviously what's going to help us the most. Put that over there. Things have been crazy. And this is another blank rune. So we're definitely going to have to put some things where they need to be. So let's start by getting the central issue. I think the central issue is actually the blank rune here. So let's do that. We'll lay out more as well as we go. Now, the furthest back thing is Hagalaz, which is the rune of the hailstorm. This is things that have been out of our control. Things have been really chaotic. But there has been a natural component to this. This has been like the force of nature and the true nature of things. I'm actually going to put a rune here. And a rune. Did I just move that? I don't remember how that was. And I can't turn back the thingy. And you know what? You're not even seeing the top rune. I'm going to move this down. But pretend this is a lot higher up. Okay. Yeah, let's spread this out a little more. Okay. So if our central issue is the blank rune, things are basically murky. Things are, we haven't been in this situation before. It got to the point where we lost a lot of what we considered to be our support. We have Algaze reversed, which is the rune of protection and support. It's the elk or the moose. But things went out of control, basically. Things were just crazy and wild, and it was the storm that happened. And so we felt like we lost a lot of our support. Where we are now, we're feeling like we don't know where we are. We've not been in this situation before. Things are pretty crazy. Well, not crazy. Things are just like blank, and things are new and trackless and mapless. What is going to help us is to tend to our needs, take care of the things that need to be taken care of. We have Nauthiz, which is the rune of need, but above all, and this was way up here, above all, be patient, take things step by step, integrate. You know, we're moving between worlds. We may have come from this world, and things are going to be completely different from this point on. Yeah. So just basically be very, very patient and take things step by step, because that's what's going to help the most. What isn't going to help is fear of the unknown, really, because we're there now and we've just never, wait a minute, that's not true. This is upside down. This may be misty. So this is a hidden influence. We're going to turn this. Yeah. Don't give up. Don't give up. Keep moving forward, even if it's just a bit, like a bit at a time. We may feel like we may not realize we've given up, which is why this was upside down, like why this was face down. But that's something that may very much be a temptation that might sneak up on us, is the temptation to just give up. The next step on the path line, we have Berkana reversed. Berkana is the rune of the birch tree. This is beginnings and birth. We're starting really, really new. Like this is like seed level incubation. And anything that was beginning before, we've basically closed that beginning. We've ended that beginning, and we've also ended the beginning that is this new beginning. This was the beginning, and this is the end of the beginning. But we're also beginning something brand new, like a seed. What's going to help us with that is we have Gabo. Gabo's the rune of the gift. This is agreements, decisions, goals, and plans. It's always an exchange. So there are going to be talks, like especially effective will be one-on-one interactions. But we are going to be making plans at this point, at this stage when things are really, really new in the new world. What's the next step on that is to really focus on what we want to feel at home with, our new comfort, our new protection, our new solace and sanctuary. What is that going to be? Let's get some runes down as well to round this out. Okay. D. And let's fill this in. Yeah, all right, I'll put one here. For the stage where things are really, really new beginning, it may feel like you're worried about overwhelm again. You're worried about things getting out of hand again. This is why we're making the plan. On this step where you're focusing on how do we want our home to be like, what is going to be our comfort element, pay attention to what is making you uncomfortable, where the unpleasant emotions are rising up, and also seek the deep inner heart. Look within, look to dreams, if necessary, in terms of, they're going to tell you where you're feeling uncomfortable as well. Nightmares especially. It's like, obviously this is something we need to deal with. Don't give up, don't give up. We have Tivas reversed here on this stage. Don't worry about making this about you to a certain extent. Obviously not taking things from other people who need it, but in terms of how do you feel about this? Because if you feel about this in this moment, very likely other people will as well. And so raise that as something that we want to make sure that we're building in this new situation. And finally, we're going to be really paying attention to wealth and worth in terms of what makes our lives feel of worth. Fehu is the rune of wealth, but it's cattle. It's the wealth that you tend. So the things that we need to take care of so that they keep us feeling worthy. We have the blank rune, which is be open to things that may be presenting themselves to you. Don't make it very, very rigid. And also blank rune, the connection to the divine, whatever the divine is for you, is implied. And also don't worry about expressing yourself. Like don't, and also be careful of those who may start to be loud just because they're scared, and try to overwhelm and exhaust. We're going to basically turn away from that. If that starts to be the case, get yourself back into the blank room thing, where it's just like, nope, we're not doing that. We're going to step away from that. That's not going to be allowed in the new. That's not going to be allowed in the new. Where are we at the end? Yeah, so we're really focusing on, let's make this really, really new. We have another blank rune. I think we have 3 blank runes in this. Yeah, and to be very open and aware, but also see this as a new beginning, where we're not going to be having this anymore. We're not going to be having this anymore, especially the loudness of people who just want to overwhelm and exhaust. That's not going to be permitted. That really shouldn't be permitted anyway, but it's a tactic these people are using. And a lot of times these people are using it because they have felt that facts and the things that are provable and the way that things, need to be for people to be okay. And they have found themselves to be in the wrong a lot of times. And now there are people in positions of power who are saying, oh, no, you were right all along. And they don't want to let that go. And so in order to not let that go, they just basically become a wall of that doesn't allow any discussion or any new information to come through. And they refuse to see, what's actually true, which is a problem. So we definitely want to, given that Gorge's, the root has to do with the throat, and this is that rune. What isn't helping is the people who are misusing that. We want to basically speak truth at this point, and we want to start from a blank spot again, I think, in this case. My goodness gracious. So this did not disappoint. It was just as weird as the other ones. So that is the reading for stone number 4. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello. So this is, I'm just coming in as me to say that this was an experiment that we were doing today, something that I wanted to try. These readings are all really weird. So please, this is all entertainment purposes only. This was an experiment I wanted to try. I had a really good, I thought it was going to be much more, comforting and maybe it is, and maybe it will be for you. But I'll tell you what, it was not what I expected it to be. And so we will be back with our regularly normal type readings very, very soon. I'm sorry I haven't been present recently. I've actually had a couple weeks where I've been taking care of things that needed to be taken care of. Definitely my Tivas and Nauthis couple of weeks. So that's why I haven't been very present. But I will be again in the coming days. So, and etc. And I have an exciting announcement coming up as well. So stay tuned for that, because I'll post that as soon as I can put that together. But I am here to wish you as much comfort as you need in the scary times that we are going through. And I hope that we can all weather this and get through it as best as possible and as best we can, and take care of each other. And I will see you again soon. Take care until next time. Bye.